This page has generated over 1,000 leads in the past 60 days, and today I'm going to show you why this works so well and how you can apply it to your business. Now, when I figured this out, I took a landing page from 5% conversion to 48% conversion with just a few simple tweaks. But before I show you the framework that's going to let you build high converting landing pages, let's talk about lead magnets. In other words, the thing that people get when they give you their email address on that landing page. Now, most landing pages don't actually generate leads. They collect dust. People slap together a freebie, throw it on a page, and then wonder why nobody signs up. Well, here's a little skit to explain why. Happy anniversary, babe.
Wood chisels, that's what I've always wanted.
It was at this moment that Christy thought, where did I go wrong?
You don't even recognize
Happy anniversary, babe.
It's just what I always wanted. Thanks, babe.
It was at this moment that Christy thought, he does listen.
Happy anniversary, babe.
Oh my gosh, thank you, babe. How did you even think to get this for me? I love it.
It was at this moment that Christy thought, how did I get so lucky to have a husband good at not only voiceover narrations, but now this. I am one lucky lady.
What I just showed you is the difference between a bad lead magnet, an okay lead magnet, and a great lead magnet. Now, most people's lead magnets fall into the anniversary one category, and this happens because of three reasons. They create the thing they want to create and then act surprised when it works as well as giving my wife woodworking chisels for our anniversary. Or they get the lead magnet right but come up with a really lame or confusing landing page, so no one signs up to get the lead magnet. Or they think their lead magnet is better than it is. They think people just don't understand it. I was this person, and when my first couple lead magnets flopped, I had two choices. I could ignore the data and think the problem was everyone else, or I could improve. I chose the second option, and hopefully you will choose the same. When you create something, the results dictate if it's good or not. Okay, so the next group. This is the anniversary 2 group. Now, these people are doing okay. They understand their customers, they make sales, and their business is starting to grow. Let's say this is about 10% of people. Now, this is a good place to be, but most people get here and then stop. It's working and they're comfortable. But if you want to get great results, you have to go one step further. Here's what I mean by that. Anniversary 2, I gave my wife the thing she asked for and she was happy. So at a minimum, we need to give our customers what they're asking for. But to take this to a whole new level and get your customers telling their friends about your books and products and having your email list filling up faster than a Taylor Swift concert. Now, I'm not actually a Taylor Swift fan, I just couldn't think of a better metaphor. Anyway, to get to anniversary 3 level, you have to know what your customers need before they even realize they need it. Now, most people think they can get to level 2 and level 3 by asking their customers what they want. This is a good start and it's better than nothing. But the best way to learn about your customers is through observing their actions. What are they buying? Why are they buying it? Are they clicking on this? Would more people click with a different headline? Now, I've had clients come to me with a checklist, an ebook, even a 10-video course, and still no opt-ins. Now, it's not that they didn't put in the work, it's that they skipped the most important part. And the most important part is understanding what the customer actually wants and framing it in a way that creates curiosity and urgency. A good lead magnet doesn't just give information, it solves one specific problem and it does it fast. You want people to hit that page and think, wait, I need that. And this lead magnet should be something that can be consumed in 5 minutes, not 50. So that's what you should build, something simple, useful, and designed to get a yes. Now, most people overthink their lead magnet. They think it has to be this massive, high-value thing like a full-blown ebook or a multi-day course, and that's exactly what keeps them stuck. I had one client who came in with a lead magnet that looked good, but it wasn't converting, at least not in a sustainable way. They were paying $100 just to get somebody to opt in, and they couldn't figure out why. So we scrapped it and built something that met the customer where they were. It was a simple checklist that gave a quick win without being overwhelming. Lead cost dropped about 80% literally overnight. Why? Well, because we met the customers where they were and focused on solving one specific real problem. Here's the rule I use. One clear outcome, one quick win. That's it. Think cheat sheet, checklist, one-page plan, a short video, anything that helps them solve one specific thing fast. Now, the goal isn't to teach everything, it's to build trust and momentum. And when you do that, your audience won't just download it, they'll want to keep hearing from you. Now, most people try to build the lead magnet first, but that locks them into a weak offer. Instead, we start by building the opt-in page because that's where we make the promise. And if we can get the promise right, everything else becomes easier. Now, here's the part that most people miss. The promise on that landing page isn't random. It follows a structure I use in almost every high converting funnel. I learned it from a friend of mine and it's called BENS. It stands for big, easy, new, and safe. And it's the shortcut to writing headlines and offers that actually convert. Let me break it down for you real quick. Big. What's the biggest result you can promise? Think bold, clear, outcome driven. Easy. How can you make it feel doable? Even if it's a big promise, it should feel achievable. New. What makes this fresh or different? Even if the idea isn't brand new, frame it like it's new to them. And safe. What risk can you remove? People are looking for reasons to not take action, so eliminate those. Using this framework has let me cut lead costs by up to 80% just by rewriting the promise to hit all 4 of these angles. So before you build your landing page in high level, take a second to sketch out a headline that's packed with BENS. Now, you don't have to hit all 4, sometimes you can only hit 1 or 2, but at least keep that in mind. So this headline is what we'll build the rest of the funnel around. But how do you do that? Let me show you how to build the actual page. So inside Go High Level, you're going to come over here and click on Sites on the left-hand toolbar, and then you're going to come up here. You should drop into it, but you're going to be in Funnels. Now from here, you can go over here and create a new funnel, or you can use an existing funnel. You could also take it and clone this funnel to make a copy if you've already got something that you would like. But here I'm going to just open one I already have ready. So in here, you can come in here and you can click Edit. Whether you create a funnel from scratch, you duplicate one of your templates, or use an existing template, we're going to keep this simple. On the opt-in page, you really only need 3 things. A strong, clear headline packed full of BENS, a sub-headline or maybe a value stack with bullet points that reinforces what they're going to get, and then a simple opt-in form that captures a name and an email. Nothing more. Keep it friction-free. So don't over-design this. Above all else, it should be clear. Now this is one I'm actually working on here. If you want to get a marketing advice straight to your inbox, there'll be a link down below where you can jump in and join my email list where I'll share tips like these straight via email with story-based emails. So let's just take a look at kind of what I'm thinking on this page. So in here, we're starting with the headline. So marketing advice you'll actually want to read and use straight to your inbox. I'd say that's a big-ish claim. It's safe. On here, it's coming straight to your inbox. You don't have to do it, and it's pretty easy. I don't know if it's probably not hitting new. Then we've got a little sub headline, again, that builds on this. And then I've been testing these little cartoons. They seem to look pretty well. And the idea, I think what's making these works is, again, I think they draw the eye. I've tested them for other offers for clients and they work really well. I think the real method behind it is, they allow you to explain complex ideas simply by showing, not telling. So, whether you're writing emails, marketing, making videos, the big thing is like if you can show and not tell, it really helps people get it faster. So I've got a little image kind of saying the same kind of thing. And then over here, we've got a few little bullet points building on what you get. And then if you click that, now you could have the form on the page here. Just to clean it out, I made the form a pop-up. So when they click that button, you can come over here and dial in your pop-up. So again, I just made this super simple. And again, I found the simplest ones work well. It was a few years ago, I was running one and the opt-in page was super complex and I was converting like 5% of people. I took it, I think the headline was something like, 5x your productivity in 30 minutes without learning any software. Download the free 4-page guide to get started. I changed it to that and had a 100% conversion rate for 60 days straight. This stuff can be really powerful. I think the previous page was super confusing. People didn't get it. So, if they sat there and read everything, they understood it, but you got to think people aren't going to read everything. So don't over clutter this landing page. Now that thing didn't stay at 100% forever. It dropped to about 48%, which is still really good. A good sanity test whenever you get these made is, you know, have your friends take a look at them and have them give you honest feedback on, hey, do you understand what this is about? Would you click? Again, depending on, you know, the feedback who you're getting it from can make a difference there. There's a really good book you could check out kind of on this idea, and it's called The Mom Test. It's really around this premise of, if you told your mom about your business, she's probably going to say, oh, it looks great, honey, because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings. So it's like, if you want to get feedback from people, you really have to give them permission to basically roast your work and tell you why it's bad, and then not get offended. Just take that to use it to improve it. That's really free feedback. You can have a great idea, but if you can't communicate it effectively, then people aren't gonna get it, they're not gonna opt in, they're not gonna read your emails, and they're not gonna buy your stuff. So the quicker you can kind of get to where people are and have them understand it, the faster that will be. I mean, we'll see if this one ends up working. So just when you're in here, this is a template-based thing, so you've got little blocks in here you can build. I may do a little video later, but this is all pretty, you know, self-explanatory. You've got this kind of section right here, which you can come down here if you wanted to create a new section and just kind of lay it out. You can hit this plus button. Okay, let's go with a full width section. And then in here, you add a row. Do you want a 1-column row, 2 columns, 3, 4, and so on? And even, you know, if you were to pick a 2-column, like this is a section right here with a 2-column row, if you were to hit duplicate on that, you could make it a 3-column row. Now, I don't actually want that, so I'd come down here and just delete that. And even in here, if I actually want this to be a 1-column, I could delete that, and now I'm in a, you know, basically a 1-column row. So you could come in here and throw in a headline, and you think, okay, I want a headline, I want a sub-headline, and then, okay, I went to the blue, now I want a 2-column row. Over here, I'm gonna put an image, and then over here, let's see, we want a headline, we want a sub-headline. Let's see what else we've got. Then we've got some bullet points right here, and then we've got a button, right? So this is the basic design of this page. Now on here, you can see I have basically, I made this background here in Photoshop with this gradient, but you can basically, you know, you're gonna upload this image. I already have it uploaded here, so I could just paste that in, and now I've got that background. So if I wanted to match that. Now from here, when you go to your image, you're just gonna click this button here, and then you can go in here and upload a file, but it's like, okay, I want this one, okay, that's in there, okay, these are kind of hard to read. I can come over here on the left-hand toolbar. A couple ways you can get here. You could come over here and click settings. That should make that pop up, or you could just double click on it. And then you've got some different options. So I can go to white there. Again, if you wanted to have different colors, if I wanted to make that one bold, like, see, that's a different color, so that's my bold text color. So you could take your bold and, okay, let's make that orange, right? So I'd say I'd actually do that here, but you could do that. So you could make these white. Again, you could do the same thing here, you know, make these white. There we go. And then on your bullet points here, as you go through and just, you know, type stuff out here. As you type stuff out here, you can do it. Now, typically what I like to do is do a little return in here to space these out. If you have, you know, additional lines where it wraps over into more than one line, I like to go into my advanced settings, and I like to set my line spacing at 1.2, and that just spaces them out a little bit. Now in here, to get everything kind of lined up the way you want and looking good, like on the images here, you can adjust your padding, your margins, things like that. So like here, if I wanted this to be shrunk in, I can come over, I could add in some padding on the side to kind of move these around. So depending on, you know, how you want that to look, you can also adjust, you know, kind of the margins is kind of doing the same things. It just works a little bit differently, but you can do that. So here I'd say like these are a little bit too close together. So that's where I'd come into padding here. And you can start just kind of moving it around to get it where you like it. And one thing, if I'm trying to keep it, this one's a little bit wide. Again, when you go preview on mobile, you can actually, which is just by hitting this button up here, you can come in here and actually, you know, change your font sizes for mobile versus that. So I'd say these probably need to be a little bit smaller on mobile. I think that looks a little better. And then these right here are left aligned on the web version. I think they probably would look better center aligned. And even here, let's center align that one. Can leave that there. Let's center align this. And I think that looks all right. So that's, you know, quick down and dirty on how to build these. Again, if you're like, okay, I don't actually need this section, I can delete that. But that's real quick how you build those. Now, one thing to note, if you know you do have one thing, if you can add credibility to these, that definitely helps. One client, I mean, they're endorsed by Forbes, Wall Street Journal, all those kind of things. So again, these need to be true. Don't put credibility stuff on your site that isn't true, or fake reviews, because that just destroys your credibility. But if you have those kind of things, that can help you. Another way to get credibility, maybe putting it just below the form, is a quick sentence, something like, over 1,200 business owners have used this resource. And once you have this done, if you didn't have a form made already, you can go back and hit back here. Yeah, I don't actually want to save this, but you can go back into sites and go to forms, and then you can create a new form. So here I have one just for an email newsletter sign up. So again, they'll come pre-populated, but you can actually make them yourself right here. So I mean, you're really just going to drag and drop. So this one is, you know, first name, email. So literally I'm just dragging and dropping. So if I'm like, oh, I don't actually want that, or I didn't have it, I can literally just drop these in here. The same with this right here. This is just a standard like customized text. So you can come in here and you can actually edit it over here. You could change the colors, you could change the font size, all that kind of stuff. You can customize your button. You can do quite a bit of stuff in here. You can add an image in here. And then once you've got your form built back in your funnel, that's where you're gonna place this form. So I already have the form placed in here, but essentially all you're going to do, whether you wanted to put it on this page, if you wanted it, you know, in here, you could just hit this and scroll down to form, and then you're just going to select your form. So there it is right there. I didn't think it looked good on the page, so that's why I just went ahead and put it in the pop-up. So same idea right there. You're hitting the plus button, adding your form, and selecting your form. So I don't actually need it twice, but that's how you do it. Now, if you see something in your form, you're like, oh, I want to change it, you can come over here and click Edit Form. That's going to open a new window and allow you to just edit that form however you want, hit Save on it, and then once you come back over here, you'll need to hit Save, have you update that, hit Save again. Once you're connected to your domain, you can actually hit Publish. I'll show you how to connect your domain in another video if you haven't done it, but then you'll just have to refresh the page to see those. So one other important thing on these forms is you'll want to set the redirect action. So this is after they type in their name and their email and they click the button, what do you want to have it do? And that'll be, if you're clicking on your form, it's got these button actions right here. So you basically have three options. You can use the action from the form builder. So that's in here. If I go to Edit Form, you can predetermine these actions here. And if we come over here to these, let's see, options on submit. So that's right here. You've got some options here. It's, do you want to open a URL, send a message, or throw them to like an order confirmation? So if you just said, I want to throw them to this standard thank you page every time, you could open URL and you could paste that URL in there. Or you could have a message. You could customize that however you want. I typically don't use these personally. I'm not right or wrong to use it or not use it. I just typically like to have my thank you page or order confirmation in the funnel I'm working on. So I typically just use go to next step, and then I'll hit save on that. So once you've set the action to redirect people to the next page, that's the thank you page. So all the thank you page needs to do is confirm that they opted in and give them one clear instruction, like check your inbox for a free download. That keeps things smooth and sets the right expectation. And for this one, since people are just signing up to join an email list, I kept it super simple. I just want them to go check their email. And if you've got it set up right, behind the scenes, when someone fills out this form, Go High Level automatically adds them to your pipeline, applies a tag, and starts the welcome sequence workflow. So with just a little bit of work and a few clicks, you can go from an idea to a fully connected lead funnel with zero Zapier links, no APIs, and no code. But once they sign up and give you their email, if you can't get them to open your emails, read them, and take action, getting more leads won't help you. So if you want me to show you how to get people to open your emails, read them, and take action, then watch this video next.